or welcome back to my channel. I'm Goop, and today we're going to talk a little bit about home organization and a little bit about executive functioning. I kind of want to make this a series on my channel, so today I think we're just going to focus on the kitchen, which is where I spend a lot of my time. So I hope that you are cozy. I have this little cup of peppermint tea. I have been already feeling the winter scaries and not feeling very well. So I'm drinking a lot of tea and broth, eating a lot of warm food in an attempt to stay healthy this fall and winter. So I hope that you are cozy as well and you have a nice drink or a blanket or are just relaxing as you listen to this. So I have a little list of things that I wrote down to talk about because I do want this to be helpful and relaxing. I've also taken some footage of stuff that I've organized in my kitchen recently. So not only do I hope to talk to you about it, but also show you how you can implement some of these tips in your life. So let's go ahead and get started. My number one rule for organization is that everything must have a home. Just like you go home to your house at the end of the day, your apartment, your space, everything must have a place to go. And in the kitchen, this is a great place to start when organizing. I have created like a little coffee station over here. In the morning, I wake up, I brush my teeth, I drink a ton of water, and then I come downstairs and I prepare my coffee for the day while I prepare my food. So on the counter, I have everything that I need laid out. I have my mugs, I have my milk frother, my coffee maker, whatever that looks like for you. And then I have the canisters that house the coffee, sugar, and tea. This doesn't have to be fancy or expensive. I actually found these little canisters at the thrift store, so you can get many of these things secondhand. But everything must have a home. I'm gonna take a quick sip of tea here. Our garage door leads into our kitchen, so I find that we often come in carrying bags from shopping or a work bag, mail if we've gotten the mail for the day. So I have like a catch-all drawer at the front of the kitchen where we have everything that we might need and a place for everything that we need to put things. I have like office supplies, cold and flu medicine, sunscreen, chargers, batteries, lint rollers, a place for our keys, a place for our work badges, pocket knives, scissors, like everything that we would need. I put in this drawer so that in the kitchen, if we come in and we have a box to open, there's a scissor or a knife right there for us. If we are out the door and we have dog hair all over us, there's a lint roller right there. So everything has a place in the drawer. I also have a toddler, and I also have young children, and I have a drawer specifically for the bibs and the floor mat that catches food, the little plastic clothes covers that they wear. So there's a drawer specifically for that. Everything must have a place. I could go on and on, but that's my number one tip for organization, is that everything has to have a parking spot in your home. The second tip is organized based off your routines for the day. So, kind of like I referenced with the Keurig, that's the first thing that I reach for in the morning. So I have it prepared for myself. I also don't know if you can see, I have many of the things that I use every day. Like my cutting boards are organized with this little picture frame holder, and I have my knives out on the counter. If you have young kids or multiple children, you may not be able to do that, but basically my counters don't really have anything extra on them. They have the things that I need to cook or the things that I need to complete a task in the kitchen. So I cook a lot at the stove and at this island area here. So I have my silverware easily accessible, and I have my kind of like a cooking utensils tools directly next to the stove. So when I'm cooking, if I'm standing at the stove, I can just open the utensil drawer and I have everything that I might need using these little drawer dividers that I got at Home Goods, and I even got some at like the dollar store. But basically, if I need a can opener, if I need a peeler, anything like that, it's easily accessible in the drawer next to the stove, and the cooking utensils and things are right there. So I figured out like my routine is to grab a pot from the a pot or pan based off of what I'm cooking, and I put it on the stove. My cooking oil of choice, avocado oil, is decanted over here next to the stove for easy access. My oven mitts are hung up on the fridge so I can grab them if I need to get something out of the oven. Everything is based off of my cooking routine. I think a good point to make is that a home can be really organized, but if it's not organized for your routine, what you need it, if your things aren't organized and tailored to your routines and processes, then it may as well be cluttered and chaotic because the organization is not serving you. So that second tip is just organize based off of your routine. My third tip is to label and group items together. So next to the sink, an example of this, I have my sort of hand drying towels in the top drawer, and at the sink I wash my hands or I wash the dishes, and then after I dry my hand with one of those towels. In the drawer below it I have other rags and microfiber towels and muslin cloths, and this drawer is separate because I often use them for drying the dishes. I'll use these as an alternative to paper towels if we have a spill. I will put one over my shoulder while I'm cooking to clean my hands so I don't have to use so many paper towels. They're sort of like multi-purpose rags and cloths that I want separate from my hand drying towels just for sanitary purposes. And then below that are items that I don't really use too often, but have a similar function. So I have like this salad spinner and my like grater and catch for like I even have like a mandolin attachment for it. supplies for Christmas and the holidays and birthday parties and things, or if people come over. And I have my children's baby food Tupperware in there as well. I have these little glass jars from We Sprout that are great if you're making baby food on your own, or even for storing leftovers, so you heat up in a glass dish instead of plastic. So I have those items grouped together as well. I also have a cabinet specifically for baking and mixing. I'm a big baker in my household, and especially this time of year, we're baking a lot of things to take to parties and gatherings and things like that. So I have a whole cabinet that has my baking sheets, my racks. I have my like silicone sheet that I'll lay out on the counter if I'm making cookies or breads or pizzas or anything like that. I have my mixing bowls and my pie dish grouped together. My banana bread dishes are together as well. And then I also have some like bakeware and stuff like that all grouped in that cabinet. So labeling and grouping items really is an effective way to organize your kitchen, but also your home in general. Like if you have a closet specifically for coats, don't only put the coats in there, put your hats and your gloves and your coats and your wool socks. Make it a functional space where you don't have to go upstairs or into another room to grab your socks and your hats and your gloves. Put everything that you need for your outerwear in one space. Given that you have the space, sometimes we're working with a smaller space, or maybe we have to get creative with how we organize things. So again, you have to figure out your routine and what works best for you in your space. So these tips are just general and are not kind of like one size fits all. So my next tip is a big one, and it's something that a lot of people struggle with, and it's to get rid of stuff, declutter, upcycle, reuse. This is probably the hardest part about getting organized, is deciding what to keep and what to get rid of. But if you use rule number 2 as your guiding principle, figure out your routine, figure out what you need, and if it doesn't serve you, there's no need for you to hang on to it. A few years ago, there was a documentary, or like a docuseries. I don't know if you can call it a docuseries, but it was Marie Kondo, and she was talking about like keeping things that spark joy in your life. And I don't know if it's a little pessimistic of me to say that like something can spark joy in your life, but if it is distracting you or disrupting unnecessary routine or taking up space that you otherwise wouldn't have, then it may spark joy when you see it, but it's not serving your home and it's not serving you. So it can be hindering your ability to get organized. So I think you really have to evaluate your processes and consider your happiness and your joy, of course, when you're organizing, but I would really prioritize your time and your ability to plan and complete tasks over just the initial joy you get when looking at something. I have decluttered many things that have served me in the past and brought me great joy, but no longer had a space or practicality in my home or my life. And although it was bittersweet to part with them, it made me happy to think that someone else would enjoy them or get use out of them. And I gave that item new life in rehoming it or gifting it to someone or donating it. So grocery shopping and shopping in general to our necessities first and foremost. I also have things laid out in a way where I can visually see what needs to be replaced. Like in the coffee canister, it is a clear jar, so I know when it gets low and I can say, oh, I need another pack of coffee. I need to put it on my grocery list. Or we ran out of paper towels on top of the fridge, so I need to put that on the grocery list. I'm very much like a visually motivated person, or like visual input is incredibly impactful for me as a human being. So if I see it getting used, or if I see it dwindling down, I know to put it on my shopping list and to bring it in. I also know that there's a giant plane going overhead. Give me 1 second. When it comes to my pantry and my fridge, I like it for things to be visually accessible to me. So I'm very much a type of person where if I can't see it, I'm less likely to use it. In my pantry, I have like storage at the top, and that is basically for things that I never access, or for like things that I'm holding on to for a rainy day. I have like dehydrated sourdough starter and like extra seasonings and things like that, so I know that they exist and that they're there, but I don't need to see them every day and have that take up room in my brain and room in my pantry. I also have things, again, like we talked about for number 3, grouped by categories. So like I keep my breakfast stuff on the top of the pantry, like my cereals and my baked goods and things, and then I have like dry goods and pasta and flour together. I like keep my potatoes up here too, because I have had potatoes go to the back of the pantry, and then you have a science experiment in a bag. So I also keep fruit at my kids' eye level, so that they're motivated to reach for the fruit and eat the fruit, which has really worked for us since we did that. And my pantry is by no means the most organized. I don't believe that you have to have like these TikTok fridges or pantries in order to be organized, and that's just not realistic for the average person. I think as long as, again, you have things suited to your routine and your family and laid out in a way where they're grouped by a category and you can easily access them and it works for your cooking and eating routines, then you're golden. But yeah, being mindful and cognizant of what comes in and what goes out of your home is a big one, but especially what comes in. I feel like when you are buying kind of like what you need on a weekly basis and not overstocking your fridge or pantry, you're saving some money, but you're also minimizing food waste, and you're making sure that what you're buying, people in your family are enjoying and actually eating. And you can see that based on how fast it goes throughout the week. So I also feel like using clear containers and glass containers is a really good way to be mindful of what you're using up. I have my spice cabinet, I guess we can call it, which is right next to my stove, and this includes my baking goods, like my dry ingredients, and then I have some like extracts and spices and things. And I know before I bake something that I have to check these bins to make sure that I have the ingredients. They're right there, I can just pull them out. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I only have a quarter bag of brown sugar. I need to get more before I bake that. Or I'm almost out of, almond extract. I need to get that at the store. I also have clear containers, which I also got at the thrift store, for things that we use very frequently. So we're big oatmeal for breakfast people, and we love our jasmine rice and mixed nuts, granola. Those are all things that we eat very frequently throughout the week, so I just have them in those clear containers, and I can see, oh, we need more granola, or oh, we need, our rice is running low. So clear containers are an amazing way for me to know. And the one thing I sort of did splurge on was my little spice situation, and I found the jars on Amazon, and then I got the Lazy Susan and the little spice thing from Home Goods for relatively cheap. So I think all in all, the storage solutions for it were between $40 and $50. So it was initially more expensive when we moved in to create that storage solution for all the spices, but I love it now that I use it all the time, because I can see oh, I'm out of sprinkles, or oh, I'm out of I know I need to pick up parsley because I just used the last of it. It's just been incredible for me to see what I use and what I need, so I highly recommend your storage solutions, helping you be mindful about what comes into your home and what goes out, or what you're using up. Okay, friends, that is going to do it for this little list of tips that I made. Before I leave you, I just hope you know that organization doesn't have to be about perfection, and I am someone who has struggled with perfectionism and sometimes inaction, or task paralysis, because I want something to be perfect, and if it's not, I don't want to do it. As I'm getting older, I'm realizing that things don't have to be pristine, they just have to be attempted. And if you attempt something, that's better than not doing it at all. So with your organization, you don't have to have a beautiful and perfect TikTok home where everything is color-coded and stocked and in multiple bins. You can use what you have. You can go to the dollar store or use what's already in your home in a more functional way to organize. You can buy things secondhand, and for things that you don't want to waste or get rid of, reach out to your friends or family and see if anybody wants or needs them. You can try to make a little extra cash by selling things. There's so many websites like Facebook Marketplace, Mercari, Depop, Poshmark. There's many ways to sell your stuff if you so choose. And there's different organizations, I know, especially for women and children, that are always looking for used items, and they're so appreciative to receive them. There's consignment shops, traditional donation centers like a Goodwill, and I forgot the name of the other one near me, but regardless, there's many ways to help you declutter and organize your life. And I hope that you maybe get some inspiration from some of the clips that I showed you. If you enjoyed this video or this topic, I can kind of do different sections of the home outside of the kitchen and show you how I've set things up to help with my executive functioning and